Hey viewers, so in my last video I talked about some of the problems I had with the microphone on the Star Wars Black Series Kylo Ren helmet, and I talked about my version of fixing it, and a lot of you had some concerns. You wanted to hear how it sounded after that modification, which I'm going to go over here in a second. There were people thinking, oh, maybe you broke it. No, I didn't break it. It still works just fine. And there were even people asking about how big it was on the inside. And to cover that one first, it's the easiest. My head is about 33 inches in circumference, which is pretty big. It's almost the size of my waist. And my head fits in there just fine. So there's plenty of room on the inside of this guy. And if you take a look, I mean, it's not very padded. So maybe figure that out yourself. This plastic will kind of rub your head, or, it's all over the place. So maybe wear a compression mask, which is what I do. And the compression mask actually helps with a few other things that I'll talk about here. So I'll give it a try. I have the other piece that I took out, the dish, and I'll try and reenact how it sounded before. It might be hard to do, but if you already had the problem I had, then you know how different it'll sound. So, all right. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Today is December 24th. All right. So, as you can tell, there's a lot of my voice left over in the sound of the helmet. So, for some people, that's going to be a problem. They don't want to hear that, but it doesn't bother me a whole lot. What I'm not convinced about is the actual tone. There's still a lot of swirling noises coming from the pitch shifter inside of there. But I did reduce a lot of noise coming from breath and nasal breathing by wearing a compression mask. It helps a lot, and it makes it a little more comfortable. It works great for cosplay. I wore the whole costume to the movie. Nobody asked me to take it off, which is surprising. And my glasses fit underneath it. So let's take a look at the inside, and I'll go over again what I did to the helmet. So I took this piece out. This is, it's called a parabolic dish, and it's used to capture sound at a distance, and it captures it at an extremely focused point, because all the sound that goes in there kind of rolls into the same point. Usually the microphone point's right there. That's how this helmet was configured. This microphone right here was turned around, and it was facing the inside of the dish. Now that's a problem because, one, the source of the sound is not very far away, so it just creates this ridiculous amplification that causes feedback. Not what I wanted when I paid for this helmet. So, let's see if you can hear that. Hello. It's not so bad now that the mic's facing the other way, but that noise was basically on loop. It didn't matter if I was breathing, if I just touched my helmet, it would go on loop and it would just be louder and louder and louder. That was the problem that I faced. As you can see now, turning the microphone around fixed that for me pretty quickly. Also, if you observe, there's no broken plastic, there's no scrapes, there's no cuts. Everything's perfectly intact still if you keep the pieces. So this is a modification you can make without actually changing the configuration of the helmet. You're not breaking it if you do that. You can just put it back together just as easily. So if there are any other questions, go ahead and post them. You can check out the other video that this is a response to. I'll leave the link for that, and I'll even link this video in that video. So if you want to leave some good feedback, and if anyone's interested in seeing the cosplay, just leave enough requests, and I'll do that just like I did this. All right, guys, Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you.